I reached out to Proof of D12, and then I hit him up. I'm like, "What's good, brother? What's good on doing a song, man?" Because like to me, he was the epitome of MC in Michigan. To me, there was nobody that could fuck with Proof, because Proof was you got to understand about Proof. Proof was he's a lot like me, spiritually and mentally, because say there was a beef between two artists in Detroit, before it got spilled over into the streets, and sometimes after and sometimes during, Proof was that guy that would mediate, and that's why they call him the mayor of Detroit hip hop, because he would step in and say, "Look, you two motherfuckers are taking it too far. Nobody wants to see you motherfuckers kill each other over a goddamn rap song. Why don't y'all come down here and battle instead? Or why don't y'all keep it on track, keep it on wax?" That type of shit. He's a real fucking dude, man. That was a real fucking dude. And so I got in the whip. I drove to Detroit from Grand Rapids, Greenville area. I drove to Detroit, and fucking, I'm talking on the way there, and he gives me an address. And I get to the address, and the door is locked. It's in Ferndale. And so I called him up. I said, "Yo, the door's locked. I see the camera. Can you see me on the camera?" And he said, "Yeah, I'm going to send somebody out." And so the security dude comes out to get me, and my homeboy, Ill Ways at the time. And we go in, and he says, "I got to finish up some shit here with some people. And then when I'm done here, we'll leave, and we'll go to another studio where I'm going to record the verse for you." I said, "Okay." He said, "But what you got to do is you got to keep real calm. Don't act like a fucking idiot or a fool or somebody comes in here that you recognize." And I didn't know what he was saying at the time. I'm like, I just told, "Brother, you ain't got to worry about me, because I know how to, I know how to conduct myself and respect people, But what he was saying was that he was essentially saying, Eminem's going to be here later. Don't act like a fanboy. Don't run up to this motherfucker asking for his autograph, which I would never do anyway. Don't ask him for a picture.
Actually, don't be a fan.
Yeah, basically, this is a place of business, you know what I'm saying, and which I understood, and it was all good. So I sat down, and I was waiting for Proof to do his session, and I think they were working on the Obi Trice record at the time. And while I was in the lobby, I got to meet King Gordy, I met Bizarre, I met some people from Web Entertainment, and come to find out, the spot that I was at was a 54 Sound, which is where Eminem records everything. You know what I'm saying? That's where he's recorded every album that he's ever put out. So I'm sitting in the lobby still waiting on Proof, and this short little white dude comes in with a light that for me. Short little white dude with a Red Wings cap comes in. Just kind of whisked right past me. I'm like, I looked over at my boy, and my boy says, "I think that's Eminem." I'm like, nah, maybe not. But we're watching the movie on the big screen, and I look back over, and it's the dude Eminem, and he's staring at me. And I'm like, man, I'm thinking like several things are going through my mind. Number one, how the fuck did I end up here? I'm just an underground dude from Grand Rapids, Greenville, Belding area, and dude, how the fuck did I end up in here with these dudes? And I'm looking at a dude that's got like a couple platinum records out, and he was staring at me. He was giving me a stare down. Like, where I'm from, man, that type of look only means a couple of things. You know what I'm saying? Like, and so I'm like trying to focus on the TV screen so I don't fuck up and because I'm the kind of dude, man, you look at me a certain way, it's gonna get to a point where I'm just gonna be, hey, what's your fucking problem? You know what I mean? I'm gonna stand up and say, look, man, stop fucking looking at me like that, or I'm gonna smack the shit out of you. You know what I mean? But I didn't want to do that. Number one, because you put your hands on Eminem, that's a rap anyway. You know what I mean? And number two, it turned out that I had it all wrong. He wasn't looking at me that way. He was just he was whispering the Proof, and from my perspective, he was looking at me that way, but he was whispering the Proof, and then he would look back at me, and he would whisper the Proof and look at me, and so from where I'm sitting, it looks like, all right, man, it's like, come the fuck over already. Come walk over and say something to me or some shit, But he just Proof told me that he was just asking who I was and what the fuck I was doing there, that's all. And I was like the only other white boy in the room, So I smiled at Eminem. I like, fuck it, I'll just see how this goes. I smiled at him and waved, you know. And then a few minutes, I turned my attention back to the TV, and a few seconds later, I turned over, and Eminem was walking up to me, and he stuck his hand out. He's like, "What's up, man?" And I shook his hand, and I just like, fuck it. I got up and gave him a hug, dude, because, I mean, it was that nervous tension for a minute because he was just really giving me the feeling like I was not welcome there. You know what I'm saying? For whatever reason, I just felt like I was not welcome there. But you got to understand that the way these dudes in Detroit operate, you know, they run a tight ship like me and my boys do back home. You know, they protect each other, man. You know, and M just wanted to know who the fuck I was, what I was doing there, and you know why Proof brought him to that studio. You know what I'm saying? But long story short, I got up, I gave him a hug, man, and we chopped it for a few minutes. I took some pictures with King Gordy. At that point, I could have took I always regretted this, man. At that point, I could have got a picture with him, you know, but I gave Proof the G, saying stick to the G code. Don't take the camera out. You know what I mean? So based on the promise that I made Proof, I just left the camera alone, and I didn't end up getting my picture with Eminem. Big motherfucking deal. You know what I mean? But I do respect Eminem. Eminem. Don't get me wrong. I love that dude, man. He's incredible. That had been the second time that I met him. But you got to understand, I come from a different era of music, man. So, like, coming up, I didn't look up to this motherfucker the way these other dudes did. You know what I'm saying? To me, that day in the studio, he was just a motherfucker looking at me about to, you know, I was trying to take his fucking head off. He kept looking at me that way. But I didn't grow up on him. Truth be told, I was probably and people would say this is ridiculous because, God, man, Eminem is so fucking incredible. Don't ever mistake me for, you know, saying some shit or insinuating that I think he's trash or any of that. That'd be a lie. You know what I mean? Yeah. But it's more like I just didn't know him either, and I was probably, most people wouldn't even believe it, but I was probably recording when this dude was, before he did. You know, I was probably selling tapes, and in fact, I know I was selling tapes before he put out the Slim Shady EP. You know what I mean? And way back in the day. And that doesn't give me any bragging rights or anything like that. I'm just saying that, you know, I didn't grow up on him. I grew up on Tupac. I grew up on Biggie, the Dayton Family, and fucking Eazy-E and the whole NWA shit. I come from a different era, and then he pops up at a time when everybody's just going hate shit over him, and he's lyrically fucking incredible, and I agree. But and then I thought I gotta keep it real, I thought a little tinge of jealousy, man, because I wanted to be the white dude to come out of Michigan, you know? I gotta keep it honest, man. I wanted to be that white dude. I wanted to be the white dude to come out of Michigan. And then this motherfucker, you know, I mean, he's just better. He's just way better than me,
well,
you know, like.
Honest, you could